This is where I've been sleeping for the past 17 days.
These Howard students slept in tents and on the floors of a university building to protest poor living conditions on campus. You're looking at dorm rooms that cost students more than $9,000 a semester.
I want to just talk a little bit about what the dorms look like, because they are piss poor. We have mold, we have rats, we have water damage.
The students' health and safety concerns prompted them to stage a month-long protest at Howard University. It's been dubbed the Blackburn Takeover.
I have been sleeping in the hallways.
We pay almost $50,000 and my daughter's sleeping like she's homeless.
We're sacrificing that to stay until our demands are met.
They brave the cold and rain to rally together around 4 core demands. This is how students at Howard University challenged the administration and won.
I slept on the yard, actually, in one of the orange tents over there.
That's a shame.
Micaiah is one of over 100 students who took part in the Blackburn Takeover.
So these are mushrooms growing out of my bathroom at Howard University. And even when I moved in on August 10th, there was actually mold on the ceiling part of the bathroom.
Choosing Howard was a big deal for Micaiah. She's the first person in her family to go to college. Howard University is among the nation's 107 historically Black colleges and universities which have been serving Black communities since the 1800s.
It's the fact that I came to HBCU to be loved by other Black people. I've been at a predominantly white high school for a majority of my life. I just wanted to be around people, Black excellence, really.
Micaiah says she was thrilled to move on campus in August 2021 after spending her freshman year online, still living at home. But by October 12th, she found herself protesting her living conditions.
I was very excited just because it's my first year being on campus. I get to see my actual peers in person. And the fact that I have to deal with mold and mushrooms my first year, it's disgusting, discouraging, just because why wasn't it clean in the first place?
Micaiah's mother flew in from Georgia to support her.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to see anymore. It's disheartening because we pay almost $50,000 and my daughter's sleeping like she's homeless. She's literally sleeping like she has no mother, no father, no family supporting her. This is not what I expect from a prestigious university.
The floors are hard, the building is cold, the air mattress deflates, and I hate it here. I want to go home, and instead my home has now become a twin-sized air mattress next to 6 other students, because you either sleep on the concrete or you sleep in a moldy room.
Channing Hill is a junior who also serves as the president of Howard's NAACP chapter. She says the mold directly impacted her health.
I have severe mold allergies, and I was constantly in this reactive state, and I couldn't figure out why. My entire face was just reactive, inflamed. There were like bags and patches all over my face. I had never had a reaction like that before. I haven't had a reaction like that since I've moved out of that dorm.
Students first occupied Blackburn on October 12th. Anaya Vines, who is now a senior, led the takeover at Howard University.
It's day 17, Blackburn Takeover. We're out here on the campus. This is where I've been sleeping for the past 17 days. I'll let you guys come inside. My brain goes all over the place every day, so it really is dependent on the situation. Overall, the goal is to get the demands met.
One of the core demands the students outlined included a town hall meeting with President Wayne A.I. Frederick.
The second one is to have all of the voting rights given back to student, faculty, and alumni on the Board of Trustees. The third one is we would like a housing plan. And the fourth one is legal, academic, and disciplinary immunity for all students.
Anaya and others decided to take over Blackburn after efforts to reach out to administrators failed.
October 12th, there was a town hall. I led the chants on the flagpole telling people to make sure they come to the town hall at 6 o'clock, let your voices be heard.
Instead, students say campus police came and tried to remove them when they took over Blackburn. After that night, one thing became clear. The students said they weren't going to leave before the administration met their demands. What started with a small group of students protesting grew into a movement that made national headlines and gained nationwide support.
Once we took over Blackburn, it was between 15 to 25 students that stayed.
Every day, members of the community stopped by to offer their help, bringing in food and supplies.
I got this from a black-owned vegan restaurant uptown called Sinbad. And I didn't go to Howard, but I just saw that people were suffering. And so I asked one of the guys out here what they needed.
This is literally an example of what's been going on these past 17 days. People from near and far have been coming to drop off materials that we need. Someone literally rented a U-Haul from Texas and drove here.
Wow.
Anaya advocates for the advancement of HBCUs through a student coalition she founded. The Live movement members rallied behind the Blackburn takeover and documented their daily lives.
A lot of people don't know that we're still out here because they hear about the rain and they wonder, are they still doing it? Are they still staying out? So I just gotta continuously tell them, yeah, we're still out here.
These daily updates also drew support from celebrities, politicians, and civil rights leaders.
So many people have locked in, so many organizations and groups from NAACP Youth and College Division to Reverend Jesse Jackson. We wouldn't have been able to make it as far as we are now without them, without the community.
Students say gentrification and rising rent in DC is leading to their displacement. Studios in gentrifying buildings around Howard University can cost more than $2,000, making them unaffordable to many students.
It's really important for HBCU students across the nation to band together to improve the state of HBCU students.
Many are hoping that HBCUs will gain significant funding through President Biden's Build Back Better Act. The plan will allocate $10 billion for HBCUs.
And we really require that money to combat some of these infrastructural issues that HBCUs are facing as a result of racial disparities. So in order to fix these issues, we can't only rely on our colleges and universities, but we also need to rely on federal funding.
It's November 15th. After more than a month of sleeping in tents and on inflatable mattresses, students announced an agreement with the administration.
This is the longest I've stayed in a tent. I am not a Girl Scout. I did not go and do outdoor camping. But it was worth it.
AJ Plus spoke to the university's president after the announcement. He said the administration was committed to resolving maintenance issues.
The other thing that's important from a customer service point of view is that when students do have a concern, how quickly it's addressed as well. And that's one of the things that we're working on with our housing partners. Does something get fixed within 24 hours or 48 hours?
Anaya says the administration met 3 of their demands.
We are on day 34. This is the last day of the Blackburn takeover. We're packing up. We have met an agreement with the university. 3 of the 4 of our demands were met, and the Board of Trustees demand is the one that will be taken to court afterwards. Speaking with the Board of Trustees, they are saying that they will not budge.
The students who occupy the Blackburn Center said they have won, but their fight for the advancement of HBCUs is far from over.
We protected each other, we stood for each other, the community, both online and on campus. Stay tuned.
I want my kids to go here. We don't hate Howard. We want Howard to be the best that it can be, the illustrious Howard, the Mecca.
And for now, they're looking forward to returning home.
Where will you be sleeping tonight?
My bed.
He's sleeping in my home in a real bed.
Oh my God, I don't know what it looks like anymore.
I need a break, but I know my break can't last for long because there's still work to do. But I think I'm gonna sleep in an actual house today.
ABC9 News investigation after a student reports mold growing inside a Pittsburgh State University residence hall. Investigative reporter Matt Fleener is getting answers after learning about the problem at Pitt State.
I have a trash bag completely full of just shoes that are covered in mold.
Claims of mold on sandals, running shoes, floors, and bed frames after Jordan Everett returned to her dorm room from a long weekend away.
Every pair of shoes, any clothing that I left out was completely covered in mold. Not just a little bit of mold, it looked like it had been sitting in a river for weeks.
Everett attends Pittsburg State University, saying she's been sick ever since starting this her freshman year. Just recently discovering mold in her air conditioning system, she says, in Nation Hall.
I could not breathe. I couldn't sleep. I was having serious migraines.
Well, I want other students and parents to know.
Her mom, Christy, asking KMBC 9 News for help, especially since her daughter has a toxic mold allergy.
And it's toxic for her because of her allergy, but this is toxic for anybody to be living in these conditions.
It's been most prevalent this fall for some reason. This has been the highest instances, even in these handful of rooms that we've had.
That's Pitt State's Vice President of Student Life, telling KMBC 9 News students' air conditioning systems can cause high humidity if students turn them down too low. He also said a lack of airflow in rooms due to recent fire safety upgrades has caused just a handful of mold complaints across the university's 660 residence hall rooms this fall.
But as far as going into students' rooms room by room, we haven't taken that step yet.
Is that something you're considering based on what you're seeing?
It might be worth considering.
They need to fix it, or someone needs to be sent here to fix it, because it's not something that they can just keep looking over.
Matt Fleener, KMBC 9 News.
We want to know if you know of any students who've seen mold in any dorms at Pitt State or any other university for that matter. Email us at news@kmbc.com or reach out to Matt on his KMBC Facebook page.
Local university is taking precautions after students report mold inside residence halls. Two Pittsburg State freshmen who live in Nation Hall found what they believe to be mold in their room. Other students also reported potential mold, causing the university to move them to other rooms while their AC units were cleaned. Nation Hall is connected to Dillinger Hall, both of which were recently remodeled. PSU officials believe those renovations and heavy rainfall this fall have caused high humidity levels in those halls. Now, campus workers are taking steps to make sure this won't happen again. Next Monday, every room will be inspected in both halls. A third-party professional will also look over the areas of concern and make recommendations to prevent this in the future. Now, if you're a student and need to report potential mold or other health hazards, you can call the university housing at 620-235-4245.
UNC Charlotte has confirmed mold has been found in some of its dorm rooms. The university tells us after investigations, it discovered 2 cases of mold in dorm rooms. Campus officials say they took care of the cases quickly and that air quality tests showed no lingering evidence of mold in the residence halls. The university's Housing and Residence Life says students who find mold in their rooms can submit a maintenance request to have it addressed.
A mold scare at the new school in Manhattan has forced students out of a dorm and into another building. Crews are now cleaning and repairing the 13th Street Residence Hall in Greenwich Village. The school says there have been no reports of students sickened by the mold, and they don't believe there is a health risk. The dorm will be reopened when it passes inspection.